What's happening, everybody? I'm your host, Coach Kala. Welcome to episode 3 of the Get Moving podcast, where we talk high rocks, marathon training, and overall health in a real and simple way that actually helps you get results. In this podcast today, we're going to be talking about how to get shredded for summer and the fastest way to do that. So, if you're like me, summer is right around the corner, and if you have tried diet after diet and nothing has worked, you are not alone. Most people either starve themselves or do endless cardio, and that is exactly why they do not see results. Today, we are breaking down how to lose weight fast, the right way, and shred stubborn belly fat for summer. I'm your host, Coach Kala. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And we have a very special guest, a great friend of mine, Joseph Baldini, the BE teacher from Westerly, Rhode Island. Joey is a certified high school PE teacher, and you're going to tell us the rest, my friend.
Yes,
Take
sir. So I am a high school PE teacher at Wesley High School. Also teach health as well. I'm a certified personal trainer. I'm in the process of switching gyms to a gym closer to me, and a former baseball coach for a couple years, and then switched to bartending because we got to make that money around here.
right.
That's it.
Well, I love it. So you have a great background with lifting weights, training people. Anyone that knows you knows that you are an absolute animal in the gym, which is great. And you have a very well educated mind on this fitness, diet, and how to lose weight stuff for sure. So let's get right into it, Joey. Um, if somebody comes up to you today and says they want to lose weight fast, where do you start?
Want to lose weight fast? I would say, honestly, I'm more the take it slow. Plan that out way ahead of time. Crash dieting is the biggest problem that I see for a lot of people. They they get into a they're super motivated to start, right? Once that motivation wears off, they're done. You know, you have to build discipline beforehand. Um, Not only that, but just to take it slow, right? Losing that 1 to 2 pounds a week in order to get down to your goal weight and goal body composition is huge. I know all of the metabolism and stuff like that. You don't want to, slow that down in the process. So you want to make sure you are still eating a decent amount of food, but just being in that calorie deficit, week in, week in and week out. Very, very important. So what I like to do the first week, pretty much I'm just going around, I'm eating what I normally eat, tracking that. So usually it's right around 3,000 calories is where my maintenance is usually at. So after that, first week, I'm going to cut that to about 2,700 calories. Then I'll start to lose weight maybe for a week or two. 1 to 2 pounds a week is my goal. And then after that, I'll go down to about anywhere from 2,400 calories from there, right? So I'm slowly tapering that down. So it helps preserve my muscle when I get down to my goal body weight. So I know I'm losing mostly fat and not muscle. And
Right.
that's
And
it. Yeah.
I'm going to agree with you on the calorie tracking. We'll get into more with that later on in this video. But for me, it always starts with nutrition. If you are not in a calorie deficit, like you said, nothing else really matters. You do not need to starve yourself or crash diet. You need to stay consistent. High protein will definitely help you build those muscles. But if you're not in a calorie deficit, you're going to either maintain your weight or gain weight. So I
Sure.
completely agree with you, Joey. Definitely have a maintenance and then cut it down slowly, slowly, because there really is no secret to losing weight fast.
Nope.
But I want to follow up that question with what do you see is the biggest mistake people are making with their diet today?
So again, the crash dieting, the cutting calories way too fast, way too soon. I know, I mean, it's weird. A lot of people just think that they have to cut their calories like completely in half, which is just it's not going to work in the long run. I mean, for a couple of reasons. One, you're going to fall off because you're starving. I mean, I know it's happened to me. I know it's happened to
Me too.
my students, to clients, stuff like that. I'll keep telling them, I'm like, this is why you have to start slow. You have to slowly get into it and work from there. Um, and then, I mean, another way, it's the whole metabolism thing. I mean, the fact that their metabolism slowing from cutting calories so quick, it's not good. You go through a bulk to build that metabolism as well as more muscle. And as soon as you want to cut, you're going to cut those calories in half and your metabolism is going to slow down. And then, by the time you're out of the cut, you're gaining more weight back, right? So it's like that rebound's even worse. You're
Right.
better off just staying in that,
No, I
maintenance
like I like what you're
cycle.
saying about the rebound and not wanting to do that. I feel like people go in all in for a few days, like for 1 week, 2 weeks, few days, and then they just fall off.
Yep.
So, like what we were trying to talk about is you do not need perfection. You just need to stay consistent and find a good trainer like you, Barbell Baldini, and me, Coach Kala, and to like and subscribe to this video, people.
Yes, sir.
But moving on to the next question, Joey. And I feel like this is where a lot of people mess up. Everyone thinks cardio is the answer. I'm one of those people in today's world, but strength training is key as well. Lifting 3 to 4 times per week helps you keep muscle and shape your body. As a marathon runner, I will say I still try to do 2 days a week at Orange Theory and try to get my strength training in there. I remember a few years ago, I wasn't running as much, and I felt like my leanest was when I was really putting up the weights in the gym no matter where I was, Planet Fitness, at home, as long as I was lifting the weights, I felt like I was always doing better. And this is where I'm going to ask you, do you think people rely too much on cardio when trying to lose weight?
100%. A lot of people, I mean, they're already getting into a calorie deficit, right? So maintaining that muscle mass and hitting the gym anywhere from, at least 2 times a week, right? Hopefully you get anywhere from like three to, 4 or 5, but that's going to be key because again, we want to make sure we have a good body composition at the end of this. We don't want to just be smaller versions of ourselves when we're off of the cut. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't want to have the same body composition as we did at the start of the cut. That doesn't make any sense. We want to
Right.
make
And for
sure
like
that
young people listening, body composition, let's say 5'4", 6 feet on Facebook, 200 pounds.
yep.
You want to be lighter than that.
Say that again.
Like for body, for like, let's say one of my elementary students is listening, like a fifth grader. How would you describe body composition to them? Meaning like they are the same height and weight after they start the cut, or how do they want to feel?
So again, body composition, that's more of body fat percentage. So it's just body fat to lean muscle mass and bone density. So what I mean, the only real way to test your body composition is to do like a DEXA or bod pod or the skin caliper test stuff like that. Which you can do, but I mean, you'll also notice changes too, where you can tell your body composition is just getting better
Right.
just because now your muscles are more protruding, you have noticeable differences in your physique. You're not just skinny fat, or you're not just looking kind of the same. You don't have that like stubborn belly fat that's still there. That can happen to a lot of people who cut calories way too quick and who kind of rush through the diet.
Right. So I think you're right. You're hitting the nail right on the head. Cardio helps for sure, but it's not everything. You cannot outtrain a bad diet. You cannot outrun a bad diet either, right? Running is
Yeah.
great, but nutrition matters more. And one thing that's super underrated is walking. And to anyone listening to us, whether you're running marathons, high rocks is, lifting weights a ton, if you are not walking every day to try to burn some extra calories, you better get on it and get moving. But I want to ask you, running versus lifting, what is more important for strictly fat loss?
Strictly fat loss. Um,
If
for
I'm trying to
specifically
lose weight in the next 8 weeks, what would you do?
so that's different. So if you're trying to lose weight, you want to have cardio in there. But if you want to maintain constant fat loss, then you need to include um, weight training,
So
right?
would you think
So
to be optimal, just to combine both?
combine both, 100%. You definitely have to combine both. Um, but you want to really optimize the weight training because again, it's going to preserve muscle, all the stuff I said before, um, that type of stuff. So
Right. No, I think you're absolutely right. I think anybody that's trying to lose weight fast or within the next 8 weeks from April 1st down to, let's say, June 1st, um, probably lifting weights and doing steady state cardio would probably help them more in the long run, as you were saying. Um, Common mistakes we see in people every day, at least with the high school athletes I coach, some of the middle school students I've taught, and overall, most of my clients, they tend to starve themselves right away. They
Yep.
only do cardio, they cut a lot of their carbs out, and they quit way too early. One bad day does not ruin progress. Progress, quitting does. What is one mistake you see all the time that people should fix immediately?
Um, Really just going right into it, right? Without any planning, right? This stuff takes a lot of planning, especially if you've never done it before. I remember, my first time trying to actually do a legitimate cut, right? Instead of just because I mean, I'm guilty of this too, where I'm just trying to jump into it and be like, oh, like it's 4 weeks to go to summer and I'm just trying to crash diet. And again, it doesn't work. But um, yeah, just you have to plan this stuff out, right? You have to figure out how to track, how to, hit your macros, what foods are best for your body as well. And just stick to that.
Love that. I think people need to understand their macros, carbs, fats, proteins, and their overall calorie deficit that they should have to be in with combining their strength training and cardio to be optimized and lose that weight. But in today's world, unfortunately, that doesn't happen. And what happens a lot nowadays is what we like to call fad diets. And a fad diet sounds like the keto diet, the carnivore diet, detox plans, and none of them are sustainable. The best diet is the one that you can stick to. And
Absolutely.
I wanted to ask you, Joey, what is the worst diet you've seen or heard of? We touched upon it a little bit before this video,
Yeah.
and I would love to hear your answer again.
So I think I said what the juice cleanses. Yeah, the
Yeah.
juice cleanses, that stuff is ridiculous. I mean,
But so you don't agree with the liquid diets?
no, dude, that's insane. That's absolutely mind-blowing. It's just a marketing tactic that people use to sell their product. It's really all it is. Um, yeah, there's some nutrition in it, but eat real food, man. Like that, eat real food. It's there for a reason. You know what I mean? So,
Right.
yeah, the juice cleanses is brutal.
I mean, I probably have a shake maybe once or twice a week. I get sick of them quick. I mean,
Yeah,
I can make a really good one sometimes too, but I just don't know how anyone's pushing that in today's world. It's
yeah.
just doesn't fill me up.
Don't get me wrong, the protein shakes are great, especially if you are low on protein for that day or stuff like that, and you need that extra 30, 40 grams of protein, add that in. That's fantastic. It's just only doing that. It's like I don't know how people survive off of that. I really don't. I mean, I'd be miserable.
Yeah, I'm completely with you. I do not understand how anyone just does that or the water fasting or any of that stuff. Just
Dude.
you got to eat some food. You'll just
Yeah,
feel better. We talked
absolutely.
about it earlier. I am not a hangry type of guy. I need to eat
No.
some food before I teach
Yes.
5-year-olds.
100%.
Um, and yeah, I don't understand how anybody does those cleanses. That's crazy. But moving on from there, we talked about it a lot in this video. Tracking calories, tracking calories, tracking calories. Apps. We got to get into apps to help people track their calories, aka food journal. And my favorite one that I personally like to use, and I actually just bought it for the first time, or sorry, the premium version because I've been using the free one forever. I'm just tired of the ads. Is MyFitnessPal. And for anyone that likes to run, walk, bike ride, the number one app for me that I use on a daily basis to track all of my exercise activity, especially my runs, is Strava. So follow me on Strava and subscribe to this YouTube channel. But Joey, I was wondering, um, obviously these apps aren't required for anybody, right? They will definitely help them keep accountable. But do you use any apps with your clients or personally with your students that might help them in the long run?
Yeah, MyFitnessPal is a huge one. MyFitnessPal is like my go-to. I love it. I know they've done some things where now you have to like pay for like the premium stuff and scan the labels and stuff, but it's the one I've really grown up on ever since I started getting into fitness and nutrition and stuff like that. So why change? It works so well.
Yeah, and I would say the overall like scheme of things. Like MyFitnessPal is really well written and organized. I mean, it tracks your calories, tracks the calories you burn throughout the day, has everything in the food journal, counts your macros, sets your goals. And again,
Hmm.
people, this is all for free. Like, if you could find a better app than that, please let us know in the comment section below.
Exactly.
There's only
I'm
one
sure
other
there's a
app.
bunch out there, but I mean,
Yeah,
I don't
I,
know.
I agree. I'm sure there is a ton. I'm not really big into Yuka. There's another one that I like. It's called Bobby Approved. But
Yeah.
as we mentioned earlier, it's a great food scanning app. He just doesn't really have much of a background in fitness and nutrition. Um, but yeah, I think people really need to get onto the applications because it's right on their phone. Everyone's doom scrolling anyway,
Yeah.
and it's just so easy to log.
Yeah, exactly. I know so we just finished up our nutrition unit in my health class, and a couple of the students were like, "Are there any apps or anything like that that, we can use?" And I mentioned my Fitness Pal, so I have a couple of them starting to use it, and I've been helping them out through like how to use it and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's been good, and they're loving that too. So,
These kids have no idea how lucky they are to have you, buddy. That is amazing.
appreciate you.
All right, Joe. So I just want to wrap up this video with a fun segment. We're going to call it Escalating. Kala, escalating. And it's just going to be quick answers, no overthinking. And me and you can either alternate in between or you could just fire away. Um, Starting off with the first question, stationary cardio or marathon running? And you know I'm a big marathon runner.
I know. I'm going stationary.
Stationary?
Going stationary.
Fad diets, are they even worth it?
No, they're not worth it. Um, unless you can make it a lifestyle. Unless you can make a fad diet a lifestyle and you're healthy while doing that, then no.
Okay. Carnivore diet, legit or hype?
Um, for my personal opinion, I think it's hype because I've done it before and it absolutely does not work with me. Again, I love carbs, dude. I need carbs in my life. But it's worked for other people, so who am I to say, it's not going to work for somebody else? Me personally, no.
I'm completely with you, man. I tried it for like a day and I was like, what am I doing eating all this meat?
Yeah,
Pause.
pause.
Um, obviously my name's calisthenics too. Body weight workouts only, or is that not enough?
For beginners, it could be enough, absolutely. But for somebody like you or me who are experienced in the gym, doing resistance training and relatively heavy lifting, not enough.
Okay. Machines or free weights?
Um, I'm gonna go. So for this question, is this what's best or my personal opinion
What's your
on
go-to just
what's my
today?
go-to right now?
Yeah.
My go-to right now is more of the plate loaded machines just because it's easier on my joints. I feel like my shoulders are falling apart right now. So
We
yeah,
could
right now,
definitely do a
but
video about like breaking down stuff in the gym too, but
yeah,
keep going, sorry.
absolutely.
All right. Couple more. Let's say you have only 30 minutes in your day to get a workout in. Are you gonna do cardio or lift? I'm definitely doing cardio. What are you doing?
I'm lifting
Lifting.
all day long.
And you lift very heavy, my friend.
I feel
Um,
like my shoulders hurt.
one thing people should stop doing, fitness and diet related.
Um, I'm gonna say go heavy too quick when it comes to lifting. Um, and for dieting, I'm gonna go back to cutting calories too quick.
Right. Because if you cut calories too quick, people, you're gonna feel like you're losing weight really fast and you're losing a lot of fat, but probably gonna be muscle.
Yeah.
One thing people should start doing.
Start doing tracking calories, man, and workouts. I'm actually bad at tracking workouts too, and I need to start doing this better because you need to be able to track where you're at, how your intensity, how many times a week you're going, your of your workouts and the type of workouts you're doing, as well as your sets and reps and stuff like that. It's just going to help you out so much in the long run.
Right. And I think a good new app for that, I haven't tried it myself. Besides Strava, I think there's a better app for lifting by itself. I think it's called Heavy,
Yeah.
Hevy. My friend uses it.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this right now, comment below if you've used Heavy and let us know if it's good.
There's another one that's I don't know if you know Dr. Mike Israetel or whatever. You know,
Yeah, yeah, I've seen them. Yeah.
yeah, so he has one. It's like the Renaissance periodization app or something like that, where I think it has like an AI program in it that helps tailor your program to like your goals and stuff like that. So it's pretty
That's
cool.
pretty good.
You have to pay for it. I don't know how much it is a month or anything like that, but it seems pretty cool. It seems very, very legit, and it seems like it has a lot of detail in the app as well. So
No, that's good to know. People,
Yeah.
if you're listening, gotta get an app on your phone. Last question for you. It's 2026, buddy. What is one thing you want to improve, or what's one tough fitness challenge you want to do this year?
Um, we did this last time, and my answer is going to change. I'm going to try to say become more flexible and maybe do some yoga stuff. Maybe join some
Yoga.
yoga classes because that is the toughest workout I've ever done in my life, to be completely honest with you. I've
Dude,
never
I
sweat
am
so
with
much in
you.
my life doing power yoga or anything like that. I'm like, dude, my hips are going to pop like immediately. It's so bad.
Dude, I want to do yoga so bad because my
Yeah.
back is always hurting.
Dude, my hips, my
I just hang
shoulders.
on the basketball hoop at the school and the kids just start counting. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not trying to impress you. My back is hurting.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But thank you everybody for listening. At the end of the day, there is no shortcut to losing weight fast, but there is a right way to do it. If you stay consistent with your nutrition, training, and habits, you will see results. Combine the weight training, cardio, and a good diet that you can do every day to make a better overall lifestyle. Drop a comment below and let us know what your biggest struggle is when it comes to losing weight. And make sure you subscribe for more. And as always, get moving. Thank you so much, Joey, for being on here. It means a lot, buddy.
Absolutely, man.